seems Bangladesh is crawling back to normalcy after a 5-day nationwide violent student protest over quotas and government jobs, with rush hour traffic returning to streets in the capital and limited reopening of banks, garment factories as well as internet services. Mobile phones actually started working, but users say the internet is slow, while mobile internet and sites such as Facebook remain suspended in Bangladesh.
The office started working from today, officially. You know that, right? So we are still working on this, determining the numbers. Okay? Because yesterday was also holiday, day before yesterday, and we're also busy in terms of handling the situation, in terms of protecting the human lives, protecting the government and the public and the private properties. So now the office is working and determining the numbers, and once the number is fully determined, we will make the official declaration.
Ridwan Ahmed joins us for a live update from Ground Zero. He's Voice of America's correspondent from Dhaka. Thanks so much, Ridwan, for joining us on NDTV. What is the current situation in Bangladesh, and have the protests relatively simmered?
The situation in Bangladesh now remains mostly calm, with very limited access to internet and social media sites like Facebook and TikTok, and even on some places we have reports of WhatsApp being very non-responsive. But in last couple of days we haven't seen any significant protest on the roads. There's no much violence, no reports of violence as well. And so this come after the government, they issued a circular on Tuesday morning stating that only 7% of the government jobs will be reserved for the quota holders, including 5% for the war veterans, the independence war veterans, and 2% for the remaining the ethnic minority groups, disabled persons, and transgenders. The remaining 93% would go to the merit holders, to the good scorers. So this has been the ruling of the Supreme Court that came on Sunday morning.
Ridwan, politically what's going on though, help us understand, because the government, we hear, attributed the unrest to fundamentalist Jamaat-e-Islami and their student front, but the main opposition, BNP, has rejected the charges and instead blamed the government?
The government was very quick to blame the opposition, that is the Bangladesh Nationalist Party, the BNP and the Jamaat-e-Islami, for taking advantage of this student-led movement and doing the attacks and the arsons. The Muhammad A. Arafat, who is the junior minister of the Information Ministry of Bangladesh, during a briefing at the state broadcaster premise, said to reporters that they had sensed a invasion of third party into this student-led movement who did the attacks on the government infrastructures. So that was their assessment, but he declined to make any further comment because they said the government has constituted a independent judicial commission to launch an investigation into the matter, and he said they can only be able to make further comments after the reports of this investigation comes to light.
And how are the students who participated in the nationwide demonstrations reacting to the government's latest action?
I have spoken to a bunch of the organizers of this quota reform movement, the student organizers who basically organized and mobilized these students. And they said right now where the situation stands, the demand to reform the quota, that is on one hand, but on the other hand, they have more demands right now, particularly to restore the internet at its full capacity, and to reopen the universities, because they allege because of the internet shutdown and because of the surveillance, and they were not being able to communicate with each other. They were not being able to coordinate the movement as they would have liked. So they want to go back to their campuses, the universities. They want to speak to the students. They want to speak to the other coordinators, and they want to come with a plan on how to move forward. because they have larger demands right now, like they want justice for their, what they say, like their brothers' lives, and the people who lost their lives, the students who lost their lives. They demand justice for that. They further demanded, like, the Prime Minister has to take responsibility, and she has to take actions. The government has to take actions.
Right.